What's up guys, welcome back to Daniel Talks Football right here on YouTube. I am Daniel and we are back with another video. In this video we're going to be doing a match reaction for England versus the USA. This game ended up as a 0-0 and I just wanted to reflect on it and let you know my thoughts. Before we do get into the video, please make sure you smash that like button, comment down below what you think of the game and do you think Southgate should remain in charge of England? We'll get onto that in a little bit. Also, make sure to hit that big red subscribe button. I've heard that over 673% of you guys that watch the videos are not subscribed, so please do hit that big red button. Also, go follow the Instagram and the TikTok, Danny Talks Football, on both. Right, let's start with this. And I'm actually going to start with positives, because there's a lot of negatives to go into, especially substitutions, and some substitutions that weren't made and some substitutions that were. And the mindset as well, I want to go into that. But also, I do want to start on the positives. So, Harry Maguire, he was immense. Taking the ball out from the back, some of the challenges, he looks like a really confident defender in this game, which is one thing we know that Harry Maguire isn't at the moment. He looked really astute, and I was genuinely impressed with Harry Maguire in this game. As I say, I thought he brought the ball out from defence really well. I thought some of his challenges, his presence on the field was absolutely excellent coming up against those American attackers. And I thought he was really good, so I did want to give a little bit of credit to him. And then the other person I want to give credit to is his Manchester United teammate, Luke Shaw. I thought some of Shaw's deliveries were excellent. I thought they were being put into really good areas, corridors of uncertainty and things like this. I thought his deliveries were genuinely excellent. And again, another player I was really impressed with. Usually you'd see somebody like Trippier taking these free kicks. And he, from the right-hand side, they're the ones who expect to do well. Shaw was taking them from the left-hand side, obviously, and his deliveries looked excellent. I was heavily impressed with Shaw's deliveries, and I did just want to give a little mention to that, because I thought, that's not something that's going to be highlighted lots when you can talk about the substitutions, which is the key thing here, and the reason why England didn't get 3 points here. But Shaw's deliveries are a key thing to mention. Right, negatives now, and we are going to focus on England in this game. I could talk about the US, but I'm going to be honest. England is where the views are at. So we'll focus on England, and the first thing I want to touch on is Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham was taken off for Jordan Henderson. Jude Bellingham is a guy that's got energy and played excellent versus Iran. Did he have his best game here? No. But when you're drawing your game 0-0, Jude Bellingham is attacking, Henderson is not. I know Jude Bellingham's still playing in that sort of, hybrid 6 to 8 role. But Henderson is definitely a 6. He can play the hybrid 6-8 role. But he's not as good going forward as Jude is. So why are you taking off Jude Bellingham for Jordan Henderson? Gareth Southgate, your substitutions puzzled me during this game. This is an awful substitution in my opinion. I saw it happen and I immediately said, why is he taking him off? Why is he bringing on Jordan Henderson here? This is a defensive change. This is a change I'd expect to make if we're winning the game 2-0. Not if we're drawing 0-0 with no attacking spark going forward. I mean, the front three in this game, I wasn't impressed with any of the front three. Why didn't you drag them all on 60 minutes? Bring in a whole new front three. Give Wilson a chance, because he didn't come on. Why didn't Wilson come on? He would have been such a better option to at least give a try to maybe go up top. Change the system. Maybe try 3 at the back if you want to. But the lack of fight from Southgate to change anything. It seemed like he was really content with a 0-0 draw, which we shouldn't have been. We shouldn't have needed to go into this Wales game to actually be able to pick something up. To pick something up to go through. We should have been able to win this game and progress with that. The the US have now got 2 points. So if they beat Iran, they'll get 5. We now need to ensure that we beat Wales. And we know what Wales will do. They'll come here, they'll scrap. And that will be tough to get a point against Wales. I mean, again, we touched on the front three not being taken off. What's going on with Mason Mount? We need to have a serious chat here, because why isn't Mason Mount being taken off the football field at that point? The bloke was simply awful in the game. He's got no pace. He didn't do anything really in the 90 minutes. Yet Southgate keeps him on the whole time when he's got Phil Foden one of England's best players at the moment, sitting there on the bench, can come on, provide an attacking outlook for the side, really, you know, attack those US defenders, really do something big for the side. Yet no, Southgate wants to keep with Mount. It doesn't make sense. Southgate's clearly got his favourites, and it's disappointing to see, because this is England's golden generation. We haven't had a generation like this for a long time, and I don't think we will for a long time. Look, maybe you could say, you know, maybe the next Euros are going to be when they're all the best. I don't care. These players are excellent as they are now. And I know they're young, but sometimes development doesn't happen how it's supposed to, and there could be big injuries that could really harm some of these players. So this is a golden generation. I know there are players missing, but that should not be an excuse. The players you've got are still absolutely excellent. Why is Foden not playing in this game? Why are you keeping Mount on? Please let me know in the comments below, because I'm appalled. The subs were so poor. And then we've got to discuss Gareth Southgate. Look, after the Iran game, of course, you know, I did the "it's coming home," you know, "is it coming home?" Of course, I was a bit tongue-in-cheek. You know, I know I titled the video, "is it coming home?" and I received a couple of comments saying, no, it's not. Of course, I think after a 6-2 win versus Iran, we were getting a bit too giddy, and I fully understand that. I don't want to be seen to be reactionary, but I've been Southgate out for a long, long time. I was Southgate out before the Euros, but I said going into the Euros, you know, I'm going to back him, and obviously he did well with the side. I'm not going to say he did amazingly, because I still feel like he should have won that tournament. We should have won that Italy game. Again, his substitutions and his style of play were under question. Again, was an issue in this game. The style of play, you know, in the intensity going into the final 80 minutes, final 10 minutes, sorry, we were just sort of letting the US pass it around the back. We were far too cautious with the play. Southgate's a guy that I've questioned for a long, long time, and I am heavily Southgate out. I feel like it's time for us to move him on. Who we get in, I know that's the issue. I know who could we get in to do this job, and I'm really, really not sure. I'm not sure where the next big England manager is. You know, it's probably got to be someone that's played well for England. This England job is not lucrative. We're not going to go out and get Eddie Howe or Graham Potter. They wouldn't have taken the jobs even if they weren't out their current positions, I don't think. If Graham Potter was still at Brighton, I still don't think he takes this England job. So, the options we've got is probably somebody like Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard. I would take one of them to England, because they'd understand what it would be like to play for England, and I feel like they would do a reasonably well job with this side. But yeah, I'm not happy. I'm still seething this morning, in all honesty, recording this. I think Southgate needs to improve, or we will end up getting knocked out, and there's going to be some real rage, because these substitutions are not on. Well, at that, we will round off the video there, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. See ya!